You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Hello, and welcome back to the Mike and Ike Show. I'm Mike.
And I'm Mike. We have a great show for you today.
I believe you promised me more interviews, Mike.
That I did. And I plan to follow through with that promise. But before we get to the interviews, let's just give a little overview of the state of the league at this moment. Let's start with stats. Start with the overall offensive leaders. This season, the Saints are clearly the new Titans, averaging 355 yards per game, and 267 of that coming through the air. Lions, Steelers, and Redskins, and surprisingly the 49ers, round out the top 5 for passing yards per game. As of yet, there is no team in the top 5 in both passing and rushing yards, but the Oakland Raiders lead the top 5 with 140 rushing yards per game. Rounding out the top 5 in rushing are the Vikings, the Cowboys, the Bills, and the Seahawks. Who are this year's current defensive leaders? Ike?
Well, the New England Patriots continue to impress with their defense. They are top 5 in every category, having the defense in yards per game allowed, topping that, second best rushing defense and fourth best passing defense. So congratulations on the Patriots. It's a pretty impressive feat as of yet in the season. The New Orleans Saints, who you mentioned was the top passing offense, is also fielding an impressive defense. It's top 5 in all 3 categories. The 49ers, Ravens, and Packers round out the top 5 best passing defenses. And the Raiders, Browns, and Steelers round out the top 5 rushing defenses. So it must help that the Raiders have the best rushing offense because they get a lot of practice for their rushing defense. You know, the difficult thing about these numbers is that they're always changing, and it's pretty early. Teams could fall by the wayside by the end of the season. However, what is one impressive statistic you'd love to share, Mike, with everybody?
Well, as of right now, I find it absolutely incredible that the Saints that are led by QB Jimmy Garoppolo currently has 14 touchdowns, is averaging 267 yards passing, and only has 1 interception. That's pretty impressive so far. And unlike Mariota, he has only been sacked 4 times this season. So, speaking of which, how many times has Mariota been sacked this year?
Let's see here. Holy crap, he's been sacked 28 times this season. This is ridiculous. This man should be dead. He shouldn't even be playing in the video game. He shouldn't have legs, arms. There's no reason why he should be able to throw the ball. Maybe that's why he's the MVP, because he doesn't die. Defensively, though, my favorite statistic's always going to be pressure and sacks. And no surprise, Houston is once again putting all kinds of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Got a total of 24 sacks so far in the season. You got to wonder how much of that is influence of playing Mariota twice a year, though. When Mariota gets sacked 50 or 60 times a season, and you play Mariota twice, things start adding up. But either way, Houston does a very good job of pressuring quarterbacks. Part of the problem with keeping statistics as well can be that people leave the league and ownership changes. Let's bring in our commissioner to discuss how to deal with the time management issue of Madden and how to keep, not running into issues. Commissioner, what's your advice to the members who had to leave XCFL due to time conflict?
Oh, I'd say they're screwed.
What? I thought you were going to give some great advice, how, life throws you lemons and, you can get back on the horse, whatever.
Well, shoot. Unless life gives you some sugar and water, their lemonade's gonna suck. So, they better get their crap together.
Oh my gosh. Commissioner Jim is just not good at giving advice. Let's just jump to the commercial break.
Winter weather getting you down? Not quite sure how to stay warm on those long Madden nights? Well, the engineers over at Dollar General have concocted a device that just might solve your problems. Presenting the Lap Caddy. The Lap Caddy is a device that sits snugly over your lap when seated. Not only does it allow your Xbox to sit securely on your lap, but the warmth from your Xbox is funneled directly to your legs underneath. It contains one cup holder on each side, and a slot for spare batteries. So, if you're tired of your Xbox falling off your lap to its demise, then call right now for a great price of $69.69. And if you call in the next 5 minutes, we will include a free pair of Lap Caddy boxers that look great any time of day. So call now at 555-0392. That's 555-0392.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get on to those interviews.
Whoa. I gotta run. You handle the interview.
Well, shoot. Well, Mike's on the crapper probably. Let's just bring in our first guest, Josh. Josh, welcome to the Mike and Ike Show.
Thanks for having me. Very excited.
For the listeners who don't know Josh, he's actually from England. It's very difficult to follow American football there. You know, does it have a lot of support? And also, would you be in favor of having the American NFL team over there in Europe?
Well, that's a lot of questions rolled into one. It is quite difficult to follow here, yeah. Just mainly because of the time difference. You know, when I was 16, 17 and didn't really have a committed job, I could stay up till 1, 2, watch the games till 5 and get up in the morning and carry on, you know. But it is a bit harder to follow now. It does have a lot of support. I'd say there's got the international series games now that are coming over. I think there's 2 in Wembley this year and 1 in Twickenham. So it's 3 games coming over, and I think it was 1 or 2 the past few years, so it is getting bigger. As far as having their own franchise in England, probably London, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of it, to be honest. I think it's very much an American sport, and I think if we were to have our own franchise, I don't think it'd be too successful, really.
Well, that's for your opinions, Josh. I can't imagine that's a committed fan if you're staying up that late. That's crazy. Although I think every kid's staying up that late for some reason or another.
Yeah.
The one thing about football over there, I think, as a fan, is you always worry about the team and how long it takes to get over there and the time difference and how that affects your play. So appreciate your opinions there. Shoot.
Very good.
Sorry, Josh. It appears we got another person on the line. Let me just take care of this real quickly, and we'll get it over with here. Hello, this is Ike from the Mike and Ike Show. Please stop calling the telephone lines while we're trying to talk to a guest on the air.
This is Donald Trump. Thanks for having me on many Americans in the seat.
Donald Trump? Damn. Sorry, Mr. President. We're on the other line. Now, why would you ask something like that? Of course we have Americans in the XCFL.
It doesn't depend. So this thing gets opposed that to be great. We need to close the borders. Close them now.
Wow, Josh. I'm sorry about that other call. He's just off his freaking rocker. I'm sorry about him.
I know. It's a worldwide game now, surely.
Oh, man. It's such an embarrassment for the United States. Well, anyways, currently your Chargers are sitting at 4-2. You're fighting for that top seed in the AFC West. Go ahead and give us a brief rundown of a few of your top performers on offense so far this season.
Yeah, well, we've struggled on offense, really. Let go of Phillip Rivers and traded for Dalton. And I think with Gordon leading the league last year in rushing yards, I was kind of thinking that's what the whole league would be expecting us to do. So I've tried to come out passing it a bit more, and I'm not sure it's worked too well. And now Gordon's broken his ribs and's out for 4 weeks. So I can't really revert back to the running game at the minute. But we drafted a wide receiver called Will Keglar, number 9 overall in the last draft. I think he's about 6'2" or 6'3", and he's quite quick, and he's a very exciting player to play with. So he's one of our best performers so far this year.
Awesome. Yeah, Andy Dalton, he got around. He should be good.
He's been around.
He should be good, but he's just not quite there yet. So
he's not the answer.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's the Band-Aid.
Well, offensively, you appear to need some continued improvements. Hurt by that 4 weeks out there by Gordon, but you should be able to get there. But defensively, you look like you've got locked down. You're near or in the top 5, it looks like, in defense categories. Give us a rundown your top defense performers so far and why you've done so well there on that side of the ball.
Yeah, we've done really well shutting the running game down of most teams. more of the front seven have been quite a good unit for me. No individuals, but the one standout performer is my free safety, KC Guyton, his name is. He's leading my team in tackles from safety position, and he's had 2 big forced fumbles in the red zone, which have changed the sway of the game for me a few times. So he's been very good.
Great. When you get those big turnovers, that's a key thing. And I'm actually a fan of the safety position, so I'm glad to hear you got a safety that's the stud there. I've always looked for linebackers and safety. So many people are on the corners and all this stuff. If you've got a strong safety that can knock the ball out, then you just get people that complain, oh, my receivers never catch. No, they catch. My guy just hits the ball out. So that's a good way to
when
do
a
it.
running back's running up the middle of the field and they lay the boom, then it's always good. You think it's about to break for a big run. But send him on a few blitzes as well. It's a good player.
Well, your schedule appears winnable in my opinion, but you've got some tough games later in the year. You play the Titans, you play the Texans, you play the Bills, and no discredit to any of those other teams, but those are always strong teams. So far you've done really well against the Chiefs and Raiders. I know you had a game today, but how would you rate your matchup with the AFC West division with the Raiders and with the Chiefs and with the Broncos? How do you match up with the division rivals?
Yeah, we always seem to have good games, and obviously the divisional games are always important. I know the Raiders they have a good offense and a really good running game that I struggle to stop, and our games are always tight. As far as the Chiefs go, they've got a few good weapons. I think Travis Kelce's still there. I think he got a few good catches on me when we played this year. And then the Broncos with their new slot rookie receiver. Is it Gary Purcell? I think he's already got about 650 yards. I'm quite worried about when we line up to face him again. But they're always good games, always fun, and I look forward to them.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, and I apologize you didn't get to speak with my lesser half, Mike, but you trust me, you didn't miss very much. And I apologize for a rude interruption that you just can't control him. It's like you got to give him a babysitter, but, whatever. So thanks for coming on,
you
Josh.
guys know what you're doing.
Well, good luck to the rest of the season.
Yeah, anytime. Cheers.
Well, before we head out, let's hear from our last guest, Coach Jack from the Los Angeles Rams. Jack, welcome back to the Mike and Ike Show.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys having me back on.
Those of you that don't know, Jack is our actual football expert, and he took a little break from Madden 17 due to some coaching responsibilities. So, Jack, give us a brief overview of your perceived positives and negatives of the Los Angeles Rams.
Well, I think first and foremost, just their style of play kind of matched up with my style of play. I think they had a good run game, and they have good defense. They have a really good front seven on their defense, especially with like Aaron Donald and Robert Quinn, and they had an Alec Ogletree, and they just had some good playmakers that kind of fit my style of play, and that's kind of why I chose them.
Well, Jack, originally you were a hell of a coach, last Madden for the Washington Redskins, and I'm sure we'll be gunning for that team again because I know you like coaching that team. But you're doing a heck of a job with the Rams and proving why you're a great coach in the XCFL. Currently, I think you're at 6-1, and you're tied for that top NFC West seed with Seattle Seahawks. But go ahead and give us a brief rundown on the top performers on offense for you so far this season.
Well, the big one is probably Cardale Jones. He actually he's kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought his stats were a little bit worse because he seemed like he wasn't playing that well for me. But the last I checked, he had like 14 touchdowns and like only like 5 or 6 picks. So he's been playing better than I actually thought he was. Keith Marshall's having another solid season. He has like 300 and something yards and a couple touchdowns. And my tight end, Darren Waller, I thought he was a pretty big steal. I got him from the Falcons last year for like nothing, and he's like a 90-speed tight end that kills it for me. So, I would say those are my 3 big guys on offense that have really stepped up for me this season.
Well, we all know that offense is great and everything, but defense is what usually wins the championships. And so far, Jack, you have one of the best defenses in the entire league. Currently, looks like you're 11th overall rated defense in points per game. So go ahead and give us a brief rundown of some top performers on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, I think that starts with Ontarius Blanton. I got him in a trade with Leonard Williams last year from the Jets, and I think right now he's leading the league in picks with 7. Just a fast cover corner guy that gets a lot of good picks, reads coverage well, and I think Aaron Donald, he's obviously one of the best defensive linemen in the league. He just pretty good on the pass rush and pretty good, with his run gaps and, getting off blocks and making plays. So, I think those two are the main key guys that, are really having tremendous years this year.
All right. Well, we know you like those fast corners. You always look for the fast and tall corners.
Absolutely.
So far, your only losses to the division rival, the Seahawks. Good old Dan the Man. You still have to play all 3 of your division rivals again. So, it's always interesting to see what someone believes their strengths and their negatives are, and then watching them play out. So I'm sure we'll be watching for you. So what do you think your perceived strengths and weaknesses are matching up with your 3 divisional opponents?
Well, I think I'll start with the Cards. I think that guy, he's a really good play caller. He's one of the better play callers I feel like in the league so far that I've played. He's good at kind of mixing up what he's doing and calling plays that maybe you think you're thinking he was going to be anticipating he was going to be in something else. I just think he's a really good play caller. I think the Seahawks. I think he's a lot like I am. I think he's like good defensively, good running the ball. He's good with like turnover management, things like that. He's just like a quality ball management. That's kind of like his what his MO is. And the 49ers, I think he's just like really good team balance. I think he's just really good at running the ball, as well as throwing the ball. You can never like anticipate one thing or another more than, I feel like every time I'm thinking he's going to run the ball, he's going to throw it and vice versa. And, they're all quality players in my division. And that's what makes the NFC West so fun is that every, 6 times a year, I guess it is that, I get to have good games. So, I like my division a lot and they're all good players.
Absolutely. And at one time that you might get to face the Bills in the Super Bowl, that could be a pretty good matchup as well.
and he is a good quality player as well.
It does seem like running the ball is a little bit easier this Madden. At least I feel that way. So
yeah, I think I think they got the graphics pretty good. Recently in Madden, I think just the run game. I think it's it's obviously not perfect, but it's pretty damn close to how it looks in real life. Some of the blocking schemes are a little off, but especially the zones. The zones look really good. I think. I think they're pretty got the like zone schemes pretty good. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. It can never be perfect, especially in a video game. They don't. Everything's programmed. It's.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming in again, Jack, and talking with us. It's always fun chatting. So good luck the rest of the season. And like I said, I hope I do get to see you in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Take care, and hopefully I get to talk to you guys soon.
All right. Well, that's all we have for you guys. Thanks for those of you that have not listened to Al's rap about the XCFL League. We're going to be closing with that. So good luck in your games. Mike and Ike are signing.
You got a script, or we just going on the rip? Alright. I spit a freestyle all the while I predict the XCFL games in perfect pro style. I might hate, but I never profile. Don't discriminate, don't mess with my league's fate. Find yourself erased off the game. Been doing this since 88, don't be late. I don't hesitate, hit sticky with the weight. I'll chew and brew your pussy ass. Bitch done fucked up. You got sketches on your eyebrow. XCFL, don't mess around with your fucking clowns. Run you out your own fucking town. catch me while I'm lit. Used to flip for the grip, keeping them wet, never spit, keeping it tight. Take flight like MJ on summer nights, winning it back to back. I'm 36, still flipping bricks, rocking MJ's kicks. You got retros, well I got OG shits, yeah that's my kicks. Have some respect for Jim McMillan's projects. You my proof like 151, always telling the truth, never lie. I'ma rest when I die, always be neat, stay fly, stay on my grind. See you on the gridiron in between the lines. XCFL prime time.